And we are back. I believe this is video 12. I may have gotten my numbers all mixed up, but it doesn't matter. They'll be numbered, and you'll be able to figure out which one is which. Okay, so we've done this much on the painting, and I want to keep it kind of simple, but it needs a little more something going on. Some sort of floral like this would probably have more leaves than we're seeing here, but I don't want them to be, I want to just give the impression of leaves, maybe with the use of some color. So I'm going to add another watercolor layer. I'm going to call it background 2. Oops, I don't need that. I need to do, there we go. We'll call it background 2. And let's see if I can do something here. All right, we're on that layer. I'm going to get rid of the layers again. And I'm going to come back to water, I think. Yeah, I believe so. And let's get into this green color, maybe a little bit more darker and kind of olive. Let's see, I don't want it to be as dark as the stems. Oh, and we need to add the selection. So selection, load selections, and we want to load first roses, say okay. Then we will go selections, load selections. We will add to selection, and we will add the leaves. And then we will do selections, load selections, add to selection, and we'll do the stems. Okay, so everything is selected, and I want to invert the selection so I can paint on the outside of that selection. So we'll go select, invert. Good. Now I'm going to hide the marquee. Let's go selections, hide marquee. Okay, and I'm with water. I've got this dark color, and I'm just going to I don't want it to be okay, that's too dark. It needs to be a greener color. Let's see if that's awfully green. Let's go a little lighter, grayer. And that kind of looks pretty good. All right, with me doing that, I'm going to get rid of this. I kind of liked what's going on. And I'm going to come up here to size where we've got the angle popping down. And I'm going to take this squeeze down to about 10% or 11. And that makes the brush much more pointy, which is kind of what I want, because then I can do some sort of point. Which would give us a little more activity here. There, that kind of looks pretty good. And I think I want to get a little more darkness in it, again green. So let's just see what this does. Okay, that kind of is what I want to do. All right, so now what I'm going to do, let's make sure I'm on a layer by myself. I am. So we're going to go select, invert selection, and we're going to hit the backspace for a PC or delete for a Mac. And there, that cleans it up, and it gives a little bit of a background going on there, which I think looks a lot better. Okay, now I want to, I'm going to get rid of any selections right now. So we're going to go select, I'm going to come over here. This removes all selections from a document. So the selections are gone. And I want to go to wetting agent, or let's get rid of this for the second. I could go to Bloom Dab. Let's go to Bloom Dab first because it won't bleed quite as much. And remember, I've got the paper still set to heavy. And I'm going to use the color I just put in there. And I'm just going to touch in a spot or two to kind of give the feeling. Now, I don't particularly like that. Let's go to the wetting agent, see what it does. I like that, but it's too much. See, it just, you don't get anything. So let's go back to Bloom, or what else do we have here? I could do Runny Springs, but I don't think that would be very good. Let's go back to Bloom. And I'll tell you what, we'll go to this and we'll open it up a bit. Let's take it back to the default first and see what that does. Oops. I want to hide selections. I don't know why they popped up. Oh. So let's go. I need to go here. I'm on the back. So why am I not getting anything? Probably because, let's see, show selections. Yeah, see, all those selections are I need to invert in order to be able to paint on this outside. So we go up to select. Actually, I don't need to invert. I need to just get rid of selections because I'm just going to go to each one of the layers and add a little something to it. See that? All that's doing is just giving a little bit of wetness to the look. Now, you do need to dry the layer, otherwise you're going to get too much running. Tell you what, I think I do need. I'm going to go back to select. Uh-oh, I just messed up. Let's put this back to regular. There we go. I'm going to go to select. I'm going to go reselect. And then I'm going to go select invert selection. That way, if it bleeds into this side, I can, I'll be able to get it out. All right, so I just want a little bit of bleed there. Now I'm going to go to, rows. And let's go select invert selection, which will bring it back down to here. And I'm going to select some of this dark. And I'm just going to put a little bit in like that, just in a couple of places to kind of give the feeling of watercolor, because it has that sort of rough, textury kind of look. Like that one, let's go right there. All right, so that gives just a little bit of that look. Do I want to do it with the green? All right, let's go to leaves. And I want the darker color. And we'll just find a little bit. Like that. Yeah. All right, that's enough. Now, I don't want to do anything with the stems, I don't believe. So let's go up here. We're going to add another watercolor layer, and we're going to call it Splatter. So we'll click on that, and we'll call it Splatter. Well, that was not anywhere near right. S-P-L-A-T-T-E-R. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to go to this brush, which is a splatter brush. I'm going to invert the selection, invert selection, so that I don't want the splatters to be on top. And I'm going to grab this red again. And we're going to go, oh, I hear a cat. And I'm just going to put some up here. Like that. It's on its own layer, which is good. And now I'm going to let's grab some of the darker green here. And we'll put some down here. Like that. All right, so we'll put just one little splatter up here. Okay, now let's get rid of the selection. Okay, so this is one way of doing a watercolor painting. Okay, it's I might go in and start making a few other changes. The first thing I would probably change is I would go here to my drawing, and I would reduce the amount here to probably, that's 60. I'm going to go down to 50. Yeah, see, I'm seeing some of the drawing, but not enough that it's troublesome. I don't particularly like this area right here. And so I probably would go to the leaves, and I would go back to Balloon Dab, and I would grab that color. Oops, that's not the way to grab it. There we go. And then I would probably bring a little there, and I would go then to the roses, and do the same thing right there with it. And for me, that breaks it up just a little bit. I don't know why that bothers me, but it does. There's always a spot somewhere that bothers me. Now, I could also try this. I could go, let's see, make sure I need to unlock everything to do this. Unlock. And I'm going to go to this background right here. I'm going to leave Bloom Dab selected, and I'm going to right-click and wet entire watercolor layer. It should wet only this one layer here. All right, but we'll see. Now what I'm going to do is click wet entire watercolor layer and then hit the dry real fast. Right there. Now, you see how that did kind of, it darkened and textured all of that. Don't like it. So I'm going to go undo. Now watch how this changes. Undo. Try it again. Undo. There we go. All right. So I don't think I want to. I think that's all right. I don't think I need to do any more to this. Let's just leave it as is. But I could, I mean, see, there's all sorts of things you can do. Let's say if I went to the rose and I duplicated the layer like that, see, then the roses are a lot darker. I'm going to undo that though. Or maybe it's that these leaves are what needs to be duplicated. So I duplicate that, and then the leaves are darker and they're more mixed in with everything else. But I could take one of these layers and reduce it by half. That's about what I need. If I reduce it by half, then our color, I think, blends a little better. But I'm also losing a lot of grayscale. So what I want to do here is I'm going to add a regular layer, and I'm going to fill it. Let's go edit, fill. Where's fill? Oh, I'm not in edit. That's why. Go to fill. And I'm going to fill with black. So let's find black. That should be black, yes. And we're going to close this and say OK. And now I'm going to change the layer here, the composite method, to colorize. There we go. Now we can see, and actually the grayscale is okay. It's this area here and this area here being so close. And actually the background's kind of close too. But we have a very light and very dark. Let's go down to the background and let's reduce it a little more to say 40%. That's 42%. That might be a little bit better. Let's turn off that layer and see how it looks in real life. Yeah, actually, I like that. So let's do that, and we can delete this layer up at the top because we don't need that anymore. And we'll call it a day on this one. Now I'm going to come back and do another painting that will show you another kind of technique. I may do a third one, I'm not sure, but I definitely will do another one. All right, cats, y'all settle down. Okay, so we will, I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye.